I beat Meryl. This is different.
Sandra Oh and Andy Samberg host the Golden Globes.
All right, now sit down. It's award time.
Live Sunday at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on NBC. They're the Got Talent winners from around the world. And they're competing to be the first world champion.
I love this Star
America's Got Talent, the Champions. Premieres Monday on NBC.
Back with Robert Bailick, and I gotta say, just having these seeds makes me feel a little bit like spring.
You know, it's warm weather, and it just needs to be scratched for gardeners. And you know,
definitely, I love
yes.
spring. It's so long till then, but this is helping a little bit. But what on earth am I going to do with these right now?
Okay, well, see, right now in the stores, there's a transition between the holidays and gardening. All the garden sections are starting to pop back up with seed packets and things. And many of the avid gardeners are now receiving seed catalogs in the mail because now is the time to plan your garden, right? You plant it in January, you start your seeds in February for some places.
Yes, January, start the seeds in February.
Most people don't plant it in January. Here's the thing.
Here's
what we're trying.
I don't do any of that.
Yes, and then most people don't, you know, but they'll be walking through the garden center or the store and see the seed packets there on the wall and say, oh, these flowers look pretty, I'm going to pick them out and plant them in my yard. Maybe that's fine for some folks, but really, if you have a bigger plan in mind, like a vegetable garden that you want to grow food in, and maybe you need to pay a little more attention to the varieties that you're choosing.
Okay.
Okay, and so we have an extension. We have some information on vegetable varieties and planting times, okay, and how much seed you might need to buy. For example, if you have a family of 4 and you want to can green beans, okay, how much seed do you need to plant to have green beans for a family of 4, right? It's kind of hard to kind of figure that out, right? Someone has figured it out for us.
Okay,
that's
great.
That's great. And so here we have a publication up there. There's our vegetable planting guides, right? And you can go to our website at extension.missouri.edu and see this information. Now these catalogs and things that you get in the mail will have information about how many seeds per packet. And we have a vegetable planting calendar here that tells you how many seeds, how many feet of row that you need for a family of 4, for example, okay? So if you need beans planted 6 inches apart and a family of 4, this will tell you how many feet of row you need so you can figure out how many bean seeds you might need to have.
Do people really do that?
Yes.
That much for their family?
Yes,
They don't
most people just
buy it
plant
at the
as
store?
much as they can, you know, are able to, but we really want to know that you're going to have enough. You know, if you're planning on it and don't plant enough, then you'll come up short and you might be a little disappointed. But one of the things we have in mind is always plant at least 10% more than you're expected to have, okay? Because we have to feed some for the birds and the rabbits and everything else, right? And maybe even more than 10% on some years. But our vegetable planting calendar is a good way to start and determine how many seeds you might need, right? And once you determine how many seeds you might need, our planting calendar will tell you when to plant them.
Okay. How early is the earliest?
Well, actually, some seeds can be started indoors in February, like tomatoes and things like that.
I know a lot of people do that, yes.
But we don't want to start seeds outdoors now. Usually it's going to be about April. Okay, we
That's
start
what I
in
thought.
April.
I didn't think you would actually plant it. And I thought, well, maybe you plant them really deep and they harvest. I'm not a gardener.
Well, you can't plant all the seeds all at once, you know, at the same time, because some seeds, like the summer squash, you really want to wait till the ground warms up significantly. Right, and so our planting calendar will tell you when's the best time to plant these summer squash, which may actually be in June. Okay, but other plants like radishes and lettuce and turnips can be planted in cooler ground. So our vegetable planting calendar will tell you that. We don't want people to be disappointed, see something in the store and by an impulse buy it and not realize when they need to plant it. Right, so we want to have people be successful gardeners.
So would you plant something indoors right now?
It's a little early. I think maybe in February we'll do a segment on planting seeds indoors. Right?
And then you can put them in sunny window and...
Yes. And you put them in a sunny window. Usually you start with tomatoes. People like to have early tomatoes, so they'll start the seeds indoors. And when we order seeds, you know, we'll talk about this maybe in another segment, but we have heirloom seeds, GMO seeds, and hybrid seeds, and sometimes those make a difference in what you're going to plant, right? Okay, so pay attention when you're buying your seeds. Most people will start the tomatoes indoors because they want heirloom tomatoes that they can't find in stores. So that's a good way, these seeds are a good way to find your own varieties that you like best, okay? But you may not be able to find them already started in the store somewhere. So find the varieties that you like.
Makes me feel like spring too, even to see something just blooming in the window. And kids like that; they like to actually, see it from start to finish. That's a good way to teach them.
It's exciting. That's how I got started. I started with
were you real interested in it?
I was. We'll take the little tops of the carrots and plant them in the little wood of water, let them leaf out.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
Yeah, my son likes to plant stuff too. And they'll like plant grass or something in class, and then that was real exciting for them. And it's neat to see something grow from just a seed. It is. It's amazing.
It is.
Okay, well, that's good advice for us, and you'll come back in a little bit and give us a little bit more then.
That's right.
Okay, thanks so much, Robert. And meteorologist Matt Posguy, and we'll have a look at our forecast coming up right after the break.
But first, here's a look at our almanac for this Friday, January 4th.
With McDonald's $1, $2, $3 menu, you can find a little joy every day. Like the delicious McDouble, just $1 for a limited time. Can you say mmm and mmm? The $1, $2, $3 menu at McDonald's.
Hey, football fans, it's time to start planning for the big game. Go to Ambassador Stone at 3401 North Range Line in Joplin to get signed up for our ultimate football party. You'll get the chance to win a grand prize of a 42-inch flat screen TV, a surround sound system, and $25 gift certificate to local merchants and catered food for up to 15 people in your own home. Register for the grand prize this week at Ambassador Stone at 3401 North Range Line in Joplin.
What if you were injured in a car wreck and all your plans for the future started slowly turning to dust? You might think the insurance company will help restore your life to normal, but that's not always the case. That's why you need Aaron Sachs & Associates on your side to get the help you really deserve. Never deal with the insurance company on your own. Call Aaron Sachs & Associates. It won't cost you anything to see if we can help.
Rachel Ray, weekdays at 11 on KSN, in high definition.
Everything is bigger in Texas, including our countdown to 2019. Lone Star New Year's Eve is back for another grand celebration to help you ring in the new year. With live views across North Texas, join us starting at 11:30. We'll have live music and an even bigger fireworks spectacular from downtown Dallas. Don't miss this must-see event to ring in 2019 at Lone Star NYE.
Don't miss Lone Star New Year's Eve live from Dallas at 11:30 p.m. right here on KSNF TV.
Happy New Year!
And now from the KSN Live First Alert Doppler Storm Center, weather with meteorologist Matt Posguy.
Welcome back to the KSN Storm Center. Let's jump into this forecast here. First off, taking a look outside. Beautiful shot from our tower cam. And I'll tell you what, usually I'm not a huge sunny day lover, but as cold as it's been, I'll tell you that sunshine is welcome. It has really boosted our temperatures up. I'm loving it. This brought to you by the Stables Casino, where skies right now are clear above Joplin and across much of the Four States region. Now, the storm system that brought us the rain last night and also helped to kind of keep our temperatures above freezing at the same time. That was very nice of it. Well, that's now pushing off to the east through Kentucky, and it'll eventually clear on out of the eastern seaboard there over the next 48 hours. In the meantime, it's leaving quiet weather and stable air in its wake, which is clearly illustrated by clear skies. So that'll last at least through tomorrow, the stabilizing influence of that system. So now that it's moving out, we have nothing but quiet weather in its wake. That'll last through tomorrow, which means we'll have another day filled with sunshine. Now take a look at this. This is a visible satellite loop from 2 o'clock this afternoon. You can see the clouds and the system there that is at that point, it's kind of moving through Tennessee into southwest Kentucky. Notice the white stuff over western half of Oklahoma. All of that is snow. There's not a single cloud in the sky there. There's also snow across areas in the northern Texas Panhandle and then north and northeast from there, a little bit of a line. So interesting stuff how these things work, but all of that snow right near the center of that system was right on top of Oklahoma City, where they had about half a foot of snow there. So I'd say we fared pretty well over here. Freeman Healthline First Alert Doppler radar is on a clean sweep. No rain out there and none expected until maybe Sunday night. But with the rain that we had, Joplin ended up getting about 1/4 of an inch. So that was pretty good rainfall there. That puts us right around average for this time of the year. But of course, we're only 4 days into the new year. So that's not really saying a whole lot. But it's good to start off on a wetter note because that'll at least lead to more rainfall in the future. Rain begets rain and drought begets drought, that sort of thing. The rainfall totals were highest, though, off to the south and east. Bentonville got an inch, almost inch, a little more than 1 1/4 inches there, almost 1 1/3 inches, so that was good rainfall. Temperatures right now, beautiful, low to mid 50s. And if you like the 50s, you're going to love the weather for tomorrow and heading into Sunday and Monday, because we have not just 50s but also 60s in that forecast. The forecast tonight from your local weather authority calling for a frosty start tomorrow. If you're going to be heading out before sunrise, I would say that you'll want to give yourself a few minutes to kind of defrost the old windshield there, because there's plenty of moisture in the air and that will condense and eventually freeze right onto your car. So not going to be a huge issue there. We're not looking at frozen dew, so you can either defrost it or just quickly scrape it off, but it's not the ice kind that will take a while like frozen dew is. Forecast lows will be in the upper 20s, lower 30s all across the 4 states region. So chilly night tonight, but thankfully no threat of any water falling from the sky to complicate matters. Highs tomorrow, upper 50s, a beautiful afternoon, lots of sunshine, the breeze light. Usually we need a stronger breeze to kind of get a warm up like this, but no, this is guilt-free. This is consequence-free, I would say, because we're going to be enjoying that beautiful weather, but the wind is light, so a good day for controlled burns too. Highs tomorrow, upper 50s, lower 60s across southwest Missouri and northwest Arkansas. Not too bad of a forecast there. We also have temperatures across southeast Kansas in the mid to upper 50s and fairly similar to the rest of us, and then northeast Oklahoma also upper 50s to near 60 degrees, but I think we'll have a few more 60s out there popping up for the 4 states region as we head into your Sunday. And that's despite the added cloud cover. Now Sunday, I know it's got a few raindrops on it. That's going to be after dark if we see that rain coming in on Sunday at all. So that'll be late in the day, after dark, likely when everybody's already kind of hunkered, back home again and watching us on the news and everything like that. So that's likely when it's going to happen there. Monday morning, you'll have that rain continuing. It might impact your morning drive. So something to kind of plan for there. It could be a little wet start to the work week, and I would hold off on the car washes there unless you're superstitious and really want that rain, in which case go for it. And then Tuesday and Wednesday we start the cool down process because it's still winter and it's going to feel like it next week. And we're keeping an eye on the rain chances next week because if it gets cold enough, that may not be rain. That may be something else. So we'll keep that in mind. I'm not going to bust out the S word yet for that, the buzzword there, but we'll see. Picture for this half hour, courtesy of the law firm of Bishop and Hayes, is by Joe Kingore. Thank you very much, Joe. And he captured this shot here with clouds and looks like a little bit of a sundog there with some sunlight hitting the clouds at just the right angle. So really cool. It kind of looks like an art, kind of looks like a drawing actually, just from this angle. So I asked him what he was kind of looking at. Hopefully there's a broader view of that picture there so I can get perspective, but really neat. What do you think, Shelby?
I think it's beautiful. I love the colors.
You think he went up there and actually colored the clouds like that?
I think so.
Yeah.
Just, don't you?
Like little color trails there behind the plane.
Why not?
It's really cool stuff, yeah.
Okay, thanks so much, Matt. And coming up next on Living Well, Stephanie Garland of the Better Business Bureau is here with 10 resolutions to help you avoid scams in 2019.
She'll be back with Shelby right after the break, so stay with us.
When you build with Schuber Mitchell Homes, you get more than an all-brick home with a warranty you can count on. Our top brand products and high-end finishings transform functional space into upscale living at a price you can afford. Call today to start the home you've been dreaming of.
For slots, dancing pools, and shows.
Bordertown Casino is kicking 2019 off with cash and prizes every day in January. Over $200,000 in total cash and prizes will go. Fridays in January, 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. win your share of over $20,000 in total cash prizes during the Barrel of Cash promotion. Bordertown Casino, Oneida Street, West Seneca, Oklahoma.
Bordering on the exceptional. Bordertown Casino.
I went to America's Best, like you said, for designer frames, and I got these and a second pair for just $99.95. Yes, they have
DKNY designer frames? Uh-huh.
Is this a bad time?
I am in the bath. The DKNY brand event. Hurry, sale ends soon.
There you go, Richard. Oh! Is that too hard for you?
No. Is it too hard for you?
Woo! We're playing catch now. Sorry.
With Advil, you'll ask, what sore muscles? What pounding head? Advil is relief that's fast, strength that lasts. You'll ask,
what pain?
With Advil.
At KSN TV, we don't sell ratings, we sell results. Listen to what some of our valued customers have to say.
We've been associated with KODE and KSN for over the last 10 years, and they've really showed us an avenue where we can get out our message to what we're trying to do here at Golden Corral.
Our job is to make your cash registers ring. Give one of our experienced account executives a call and let us help you grow your bottom line.
KSN Local News. We're keeping it local.
KSN Local News, we're keeping it local.
And we're back with Stephanie Garland with the Better Business Bureau, and she has got 10 resolutions to help you avoid scams in 2019. This can help anybody because this could happen to anybody.
Yeah.
Here's 10 things to protect you. Okay, let's have them, Stephanie.
Okay, so we're going to start with the first one. I bet you can get it. Got any suggestions? So it's going to be, she's looking at me like I'm crazy. It's going to be to check out a business with BB.org before you buy. Yeah, it might be a little easy guess.
You might have said that a few times.
Yeah, maybe. We also have number 2 of being skeptical whenever there's IRS calls, because you know what, we've talked about this before, but unfortunately there's a lot of scammers out there. The Internal Revenue Service is never going to call you, ever. Ever, ever, ever. Also, always read the fine print. That's number 3 with free trial offers. Unfortunately, those, quote, free trial offers, they end up actually costing people anywhere from hundreds to thousands of dollars a month. So they're not really free. So be very cautious who you give your credit card, debit card information to, especially your debit card information, because it's very near impossible to get that money back. Also, keep your computer safe. What can you do with this one? Well, you can go ahead and you can make sure you have antivirus software, stuff like that installed, update your computer. Yes, it can take an hour or 2 hours, but it's totally worth it if you can avoid having a con artist get onto your computer.
But how do you know which antivirus software?
You can use BB.org and see which company's accredited and trustworthy.
Okay, and you can just download it, check it through there.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I thought of another question earlier, but I'll think of it again at the end. On
and we were talking about this one. Never wire money to somebody you don't know.
And no, I didn't do it. That's not why we were talking about it. No, that's what they're all thinking.
She's smart. She's a smart lady. She did not do it. But you know what? Unfortunately, a lot of other people have given their money to MoneyGram, sent it through MoneyGram, Western Union. I believe Green Dot Money Pack is the other one that can be used in this area. Be careful. Don't do it. There's practically no kinds of protections for you to get your money back if somebody does take it from you that way. And if somebody's so hard up for money that they're having you wire it immediately, there should be a red flag. So, yes.
And a lot of people have good hearts and you just want to help. But just make sure that you're helping somebody who really needs it.
Right, exactly. And that actually goes into our next one, which is fighting identity theft. We think this is really important, and it's so important to us that in Springfield we have a free BBB Shred Day where thousands of people can come and shred their documents. And that's coming up in April, and we're very excited because we destroy documents, we destroy computers, cell phones. Look, here's some pictures of last year.
Yeah, that was insane, wasn't it?
Yeah, we had more than 1,400 people come out in just a couple hours, and ours, we believe, is the biggest in the state. So that just tells you more than Kansas City, more than Cape Girardeau, more than St. Louis. Yeah, ours is the biggest. So we want for people to be very safe, which is why we host a free event like this. Now, also, you were just talking about there's a lot of bad people out there who are trying to steal from the good, kind-hearted people here in the Joplin, Carthage area. So
you can go ahead and check out the fake charities. See when they're fake. There's tons of nonprofits around here, but which one do you choose when you got money? You only got a limited amount of money. You can go to give.org and you can check out charities for free. Charities that are accredited are going to have the 20 standards that are met. And we do have United Way of the Ozarks, just became its first local accredited charity with us. St. Jude Children's Research Hospital has been accredited with us for many, many years nationally. But there's lots of great people that you can trust. And of course, we have checking fraud and getting everything in writing. And you know what? You do these things, Shelby, and for y'all here at home, and we think you're going to be so much safer this 2019.
I appreciate this because this really covers the whole gamut. These are the kind of things that people are working the scammers to get a hold of your money. And you know, if you want to give your hard-earned money, I want it to go to somebody that really needs it, or whatever. You don't want it going to some type of online scam. And just you keeping this in front of us helps us a lot.
Thank you.
Thanks. Come back and do it again, will you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thanks a lot. Well, coming up next on Living Well, Ivy Hagedorn from the Joplin Empire Market brought one of the unique vendors, Linda from White Buffalo Signs, with some examples of what she has for sale there. So we'll take you shopping right when we get back. We'll be back in just a moment.
So you're going to help families in other countries farm instead of this farm?
Well, it's what I've always wanted to do, Dad. Dad, this is ridiculous.
Not now. Come on.
James is leaving.
Tell him I'll send him a note later.
Your American Family Insurance agent in Joplin is Stephen Haskins, helping you protect what matters most.
Across the country, millions of Americans are being prescribed opioids for pain relief. Sure, opioids mask the pain, but there are risks. Opioid side effects range from nausea to withdrawal symptoms to overdose. Approximately 25% of people prescribed opioids for long-term pain relief struggle with addiction. And those addicted are 40 times more likely to move on to heroin. When it comes to managing your pain, you have a choice. Don't mask your pain with opioids. Choose to treat it with the help of a physical therapist. Physical therapists treat pain through movement and exercise. No warning labels required, and you get to actively participate in your care. Choose to improve your health without the risks of opioids. Choose physical therapy.
Hi, my name is First Lieutenant Sabra Bates, and I want to wish my friends and family back home in the Lamar, Carthage, and Jasper area a very Merry Christmas from Whiteman Air Force Base.
From the family of Ambassador Shoe Rebuilders, we'd like to thank our veterans and our active servicemen and women for all they do for this great country. We'd like to wish you and your families a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Aaron Sullivan, only on KSN Local News. Now, from the KSN Storm Center, your local weather authority, this is your forecast first.
And thanks for staying with us this afternoon. Freeman Health Live First Alert Doppler radar is right now picking up nothing out there. We've got no rain in the area, and temperatures are also cooperating very nicely. We're actually sitting in the low to mid 50s here all across the 4-state region. That is likely about as warm as we're going to get, though, today. That's not as warm as we're going to get, or only as warm as we'll get as we get into the weekend. There are much warmer temperatures on that 7-day, and you're going to love that, but there is a cool down as well. Heading into tonight, we drop back into the 30s, and we'll be just staying above the 20s for a few cities out there. I think Joplin will be right at 30, and then we'll have 20s out across our Kansas cities there. So a place like Pittsburgh, you'll be in the 20s. As we head into your weekend, though, beautiful weather is on tap, but take advantage of it because it's not going to stick around too long. That forecast just ahead. Living Well continues now.
It's our usual Joplin Empire Market Friday time. I'm here with Ivy Hagedorn and also Linda Keeley, and these are her prints. Tell us a little bit about your signs and prints and things that you make with your, is it called Buffalo Signs?
White Buffalo Signs.
White Buffalo
Signs. But this is a division of White Buffalo Signs, and it's exclusively to Empire Market, and it's
the history of Joplin and buildings mostly, and the downtown scenes. And on the back, people come in and they learn about the history, and most of the time it's new people from Joplin that have never been to Joplin before, or college students, and this is the way they can learn history and then take it with them.
It's just beautiful. I mean, look what Joplin looked like at one time. I think I missed my time. This is when I mean, isn't that gorgeous?
Yeah,
look at our beautiful street. So tell me about some more of these. Here's one of the entrance to Crystal Cave.
Yeah.
I mean, these are things that a lot of people will remember, or those that have, you know, younger people won't, but they can still learn the history of it.
And this particular one here is the old City Hall, and it is still standing. It doesn't look like this, but it's still standing down close to Empire Market.
Really?
Yes.
They built things sturdy back then, didn't they?
It's true.
I mean,
it's
really,
true.
for that to still be standing. Now, tell me about this. Is that a magnet?
Yeah, she makes some these wonderful wooden magnets, and this one I love because this is the neighborhood mural that is in the Empire Market. We painted this a year before the market opened, but it has, you know, the names of all the different neighborhoods of Joplin on it.
Let's see. I mean, I see Murfreesburg, and I didn't realize we had that many neighborhoods like that. That's just neat. That's home. That tells us where all that. You can go in and pick out your neighborhood that's up on the wall. I have a little magnet.
Take a picture by it.
Yep.
Yeah,
they do. Take the magnet home.
Yeah, they do.
Here's Route 66.
Right. Yeah. And going forward into the Empire Market, there's a lot of things that I'm going to be building up, talking about, meaning like the Schifferdecker story or the Route 66 story, or things like that people don't know the little things that happened in Joplin during those times.
That's neat. Maybe we need to have you come on here and be a historian, do a little history lesson.
No, well, there's history places for that, but this is a place that they can come and they can buy the replicas themselves.
Yeah, and it's, I mean, we've had people who own some of the buildings that are shown here or live in them, you know, now in the apartments, and they come in and buy the prints. They're also a great thing for people who are from Joplin but don't live here currently.
Right.
I mean, I gave my brother who lives in LA, I gave him a set of them, you know, for Christmas, so they could have a little bit of Joplin.
My best-selling prints have been of Redding's Mill. I have the old mill, the iron bridge, the concrete bridge, and the pool. And people love those. And I can't tell you how many people have come in, just like Ivy says.
Yes,
that they owned it, they've been there, they whatever.
Pool, and so they love to have a piece of their childhood to display. So you can come and see these every Saturday at the Empire Market.
Every Saturday, and a lot of people just love coming in and looking and talking to Linda about them.
And they're very affordable.
Yeah, so come in.
I like to hear that.
We're open 10 to 3 every Saturday, all year long. And you can find us at 931 East 4th Street, as always.
And all the other vendors that she brings in, they're there as well as some fruits and vegetables and coffee and beard products and jewelry. And I mean, we have somebody different each week.
Fun local stuff.
We're very blessed to have this because, you know, this is something that's been going on in a lot bigger cities for a long time, and we finally got on board and have us one that's year-round that we can have inside as well.
Exactly. So. It makes it much nicer in the winter, I'll tell you.
Definitely. So you can check them out on their Facebook page or come by. It's between 9 to 3 on Saturday. 10 to 3. And tell them the location again.
931 East 4th Street.
Okay. Thank you, ladies, so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Well, coming up next on Living Well, Robert has more to share about with us getting prepared for early spring planting. We got to get on that. We'll be right back.
Wanted a Schuber Mitchell home, so when we finally decided to move to Webb City, we knew we were buying a Schuber Mitchell. Aside from just having a brand new home that's so beautiful to come home to, we love our neighborhood, we love our neighbors.
I think a big selling point is the integrity of Schuber Mitchell. They're there every step of the way.
We have recommended Schuber Mitchell homes to friends and family, And my cousin actually moved 2 doors down, and she is just as happy as we are.
Hi, my name is Randy Alsop. I'm the administrator at Joplin Health and Rehabilitation Services. For over 20 years, we've been providing skilled nursing services to the Joplin community. We specialize in short-term rehabilitation involving joint replacement, cardiac rehab, stroke rehab, IV antibiotics, and much more. If you want to visit our home, please stop by and check out one of our spacious private rehab suites. Our family, caring for yours. It's what we do.
Hello, homeowner. John, your Home Pro man. Thanks for making Home Pro the premier home improvement leader in the 4-state area. Our volume purchasing allows us to get discounts on windows, doors, and siding, and take those discounts and pass them on to you, our customer. Home Pro receives even larger discounts in the winter months, so for a limited time, you can improve the beauty and comfort of your home at winter discount pricing. Call Home Pro and take advantage of this winter time offer. There's no place like home, and there's no place like Home Pro. See you soon.
At KSN TV, we don't sell ratings, we sell results. Listen to what some of our valued customers have to say.
We're at Annabelle's Fun Farm. If anybody has been on the fence as far as thinking about advertising on television, I would highly recommend it. It's done great for our business, mainly because our farm is one that's more visual. And they're so great to work with at KSN and KODE that I would highly recommend.
Our job is to make your cash registers ring. Give one of our experienced account executives a call and let us help you grow your bottom line.
Andy's back again. He's got more to tell us about early spring planting. This is Robert Balick. And what I want to know is why do people want the early heirloom tomatoes? Are those something that they can't get in the stores?
Well, yes. You know, heirloom varieties of vegetables are very popular right now. Okay. Typically, sometimes you can find some in the stores, but people like to start them on their own because that's the point of heirloom seeds. They come back true to type. Okay, so if you have an heirloom tomato that you got passed down from your grandparents or someone and you're planting the seeds, they're going to come up with the same tomato that they grew. Okay, that's why we call them heirlooms. They can be passed on generation to generation.
Really?
Sometimes you can find heirloom seeds in stores or seed catalogs someplace. What most people will do is find that heirloom that they like. Heirlooms are typically because of fantastic flavor or maybe the color of the fruit. Or the vegetable, or the size of it, or something along those lines that does really well in our area. So they'll pass those seeds on year after year. We call those heirlooms, okay? And so the heirloom varieties that people want to grow, typically they start them on their own, indoors. And Extension has information on starting plants indoors from seeds, okay? And this is a publication that you can find at our Extension website, extension.missouri.edu, and you're looking for starting plants indoors from seeds. And it gives some information. Now, it's a little early right now to start plants from seeds, but now is the time to plan which seeds you want to buy, okay? So there's heirloom seeds. Now, there's some drawbacks to planting heirloom seeds, and some of the heirlooms that we have are not as disease resistant as some of the more modern varieties. Also, some of the heirlooms may not give as high a yield as the other varieties that are available, because the other varieties available are hybrids, and some are GMOs, genetically modified organisms, okay? The hybrids are, won't come back true to type, okay? They're natural crosses that have been going on for years and years, but they won't come back true to type, but they've been crossed to give a much more production, okay, and disease resistance typically. The GMOs are another story, and people are a little sensitive about GMOs because it's not a natural process, okay?
I'm not sure what to think about that.
Okay,
I feel
it's
like
genetically modified organisms, and people need to know that if it's a GMO, it's supposed to say GMO on the packet. Okay, if it doesn't say GMO on the packet, then you don't have to worry about it. But GMOs are organisms, tomatoes, corn, those kinds of things, which have a gene put in there purposely by plant breeders to enhance the yield or the disease resistance or things like that. One example of that would be GMO sweet corn, which some growers grow because it produces a natural compound that kills off the corn earworms that would otherwise eat the sweet corn, right? Now, if you don't put the plant GMO corn, then you have to go out and treat each individual ear with some kind of pesticide or something to kill that, right? So sometimes people have to make that decision, you know, do you want to spray it or do you want to use the GMO? And that's perfectly personal decision people can make. But some of those seeds are out there now.
Once I see a worm in my corn, I'm done with it.
You're done with
season.
it.
Yeah,
Most people are.
So it'd probably be better for me to go ahead in that case with the GMO.
It could be, you know.
And I feel like
maybe you don't
wrong
mind
or
that.
something for planting a GMO seed because I feel like it needs to be as God intended and the natural seed.
Well, that's why the
But I don't
the
want
earworm
those
is there.
worms, so maybe he'll understand.
Some people will just simply, the earworms will usually just take the little tip of the,
Yeah.
and people just cut that off and
Yeah.
have the rest. But it's up to you what you want to do. So we have GMOs, hybrids, and heirlooms. Okay, most people prefer heirlooms if they're growing them themselves. They can buy hybrids in the stores, and GMOs is their own decision.
Okay, good information. I learn so much from you every time. I'm going to be a master gardener myself. That's
There you
why I've
go.
done enough shows with you. Thanks so much. Well, meteorologist Matt Posguy is ready to give us another look at the forecast.
Right now, here's a look at your almanac for Friday, January 4th.
If you want a car from a company that's been building them for 115 years, get a Ford. If you want a car with driver assist technology, get a Ford. If you want Waze and Amazon Alexa compatibility, get a Ford. If you want a car that doesn't have any of that, get anything but a Ford. Otherwise, you're gonna want a Ford.
She swallowed the ghost to catch the cat. She swallowed the cat to chase the owl.
Reading to your child has several benefits. It helps build a stronger relationship with your child. It increases academic excellence. And it's good exercise for their brain. Just like building up muscles in your body, reading to your child builds brain power. So the more you work out that brain, the stronger it gets every day. Reading also helps improve communication skills, it develops logical thinking, and it grows their vocabulary by leaps and bounds. And don't forget about building their imagination. Yeah, it helps with that too. Making reading a routine will also teach them that reading is fun. So take the time to read to your child every day. Just 20 minutes will make all the difference in the world. Try it. You'll soon see the results.
Across the country, millions of Americans are being prescribed opioids for pain relief. Sure, opioids mask the pain, but there are risks. Opioid side effects range from nausea to withdrawal symptoms to overdose. Approximately 25% of people prescribed opioids for long-term pain relief struggle with addiction. And those addicted are 40 times more likely to move on to heroin. When it comes to managing your pain, you have a choice. Don't mask your pain with opioids. Choose to treat it with the help of a physical therapist. Physical therapists treat pain through movement and exercise. No warning labels required, and you get to actively participate in your care. Choose to improve your health without the risks of opioids. Choose physical therapy.
And now from the KSN Live First Alert Doppler Storm Center, weather with meteorologist Matt Posguy.
Welcome back to the KSN Storm Center, where we are right now sitting pretty with that forecast, at least for the next few days. But after that, we do have some changes. We're going to dive into that here for this half hour. In the meantime, look outside here. Enjoy some of that sunshine still coming down. This brought to you by the Stables Casino, where skies are right now clear and sunny above Joplin, although only for another hour and a half. And then after that, we have sunset, of course. And then overnight tonight will be quite chilly, but without any rain in the area, we're not expecting any kind of icing issues there, except maybe a little bit of frost in the morning. The satellite and radar across the region shows the storm system that came through yesterday is now moving quickly off to the east through Kentucky, and it will bother us no longer. And also, it did give us some good rainfall last night, too, but it brought a pretty good amount of snow there for parts of Oklahoma. Notice that Oklahoma City and areas to the west there off I-44 just got dumped on with that snow. About a half a foot fell, and it was right in that one corner where the storm system was sitting and spinning for several hours last night. That's what ended up giving those training, like boxers on a freight train, training of of snow showers that helped to bring all that snow there for them. For us, we ended up getting at least about a quarter inch here in Joplin, so that was nice. Freeman Health Live First Alert Doppler radar, though, shows no rain out there now, and temperatures that are quite pleasant, low to mid-50s. And of course, I mean, it's not really shorts and t-shirt weather, but compared to what we've had last few days, I would say this is not too bad at all. Temperatures were struggling just to get out of the 30s yesterday, and they never did. Today, well, we made it well past the 30s into the 40s and low 50s, but heading into tonight, yep, we're returning to the 30s. A couple spots will be in the 20s as well, but not too much colder than last night, actually. Tonight's low, the forecast from the local weather authorities calling for a low around 30 degrees. It'll be clear and just a little frosty out there. And across the area, temperatures will be, I'd say, fairly uniform. We're talking mid to upper 20s, all of us below freezing, so definitely the, potted plants and pets, bring them inside kind of weather. Mid-20s there for Chanute, Parsons, and Coffeyville, and then some low 30s for Joplin and Pittsburgh, where we'll have a slight breeze out there at about 5 and 10 miles an hour. It's a southerly breeze. It will not feel pleasant, but it's not too terribly strong. It's just strong enough to give you a wind chill, so the wind chills will be down in the low to mid-20s there across the 4 states region. So if you're going to be out this evening, I would definitely, bundle up because the breeze, while not very strong, will still cut right through the clothing. Highs tomorrow, beautiful, upper 50s there. That does not even satisfy wind chill conditions. It's got to be 55 degrees or below. If it's above 55, it technically doesn't have a wind chill, at least according to our federal government. So upper 50s there for highs, and we've got a beautiful afternoon on tap, and then that'll be followed by a beautiful Sunday as well. Now Sunday, the rain chances are mainly after dark, and we're talking sprinkles to a light shower. Monday morning, that's when we'll have more widespread rain, but even then, I don't know. It's not looking great for our rain chances with that system. I'd say that one is going to be kind of on the low end there, but add the numbers together, it's about 50%, and it'll favor cities to the east of I-49 where you'll have a little bit better fetch of moisture. And after that, the rest of Monday looks pretty good, although you'll have a breeze that kicks in a bit there. And Sunday will also be a bit gusty too, especially in the evening hours. You'll have wind gusts up 30, maybe 35 miles an hour, so not going to blow you over or anything like that, but it will be a bit on the gusty side for Sunday evening and then eventually Sunday night. Picture for this half hour, courtesy of the law firm of Bishop and Hayes, is by Sherry Nolan. Thank you very much, Sherry. Beautiful sunset shot there she caught amidst the clouds as well. So always send your pictures, folks, to my Facebook page, Matt Poska. I'd like to see them and show them on the air, especially if you saw any ice at your house. Now, we wouldn't have had it here in Joplin because we were above freezing the whole night. The rain helped keep the temperatures up. Oddly enough, but if you have any of those pictures there, you saw a little bit of ice in the morning, hey, send them my way, or heck, any other pictures too. I haven't filled out the 6 and the 10 shows yet, so send them on in, folks. Send them on in. Shelby, I'm including you on that, and you know what? I'll even include our camera operator and our resident botanist as well.
There you go. Yeah, you probably have a good picture.
I have a few pictures.
Yeah. I've sent you a couple, Matt. Do you remember what they were?
They went straight into my trash bin. I have a filter there for Shelby pictures.
I sent one to be funny, so maybe you better look
I probably just haven't gotten it yet.
Yeah, probably not. Well, coming up, we'll have a preview of the stories that we're working on for your KSN Local News at 6.
And we'll tell you what's coming up on Monday's Living Well.
And be sure to check out our Facebook page. That's where you can find past interviews. You can review what Robert was teaching me about planting if you're wanting to do some of that. And once you click the like button, we'll pop up in your news feed. We'll be right back.
You don't have prior insurance, huh?
No problem.
And you have some tickets?
No problem.
Or maybe an accident?
No problem.
Or possibly a DUI?
No problem.
For fast, hassle-free insurance, that's
Insurance Provider!
I'm Ray, and I quit smoking with Chantix. Smoking, it dictates your day. I didn't like something having control over me. I wanted to stop. The thing is I didn't know how.
Chantix, along with support, helps you quit smoking.
Chantix reduced my urge to smoke, and to the point that I could quit.
When you try to quit smoking, with or without Chantix, you may have nicotine withdrawal symptoms. Some people had changes in behavior or thinking, aggression, hostility, agitation, depressed mood, or suicidal thoughts or actions with Chantix. Serious side effects may include seizures, new or worse heart or blood vessel problems, sleepwalking, or allergic and skin reactions, which can be life-threatening. Stop Chantix and get help right away if you have any of these. Tell your healthcare provider if you've had depression or other mental health problems. Decrease alcohol use while taking Chantix. Use caution when driving or operating machinery. The most common side effect is nausea.
For me, Chantix worked. Boom. End of story.
Talk to your doctor about Chantix.
Last night in high school,
I tried Oxy at a couple of parties.
I thought I had it under control. I didn't know it'd be this addictive. I didn't know how far I'd go to get more.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
Please be mindful of unintentional addiction. For more information, contact the Alliance of Southwest Missouri.
Do you need fast, cheap, and hassle-free insurance? Insurance Provider says...
No problem.
No problem.
No problem.
No problem. No problemas.
Call now for your free insurance quote. That's...
Insurance Providers.
Well, thanks for hosting with me.
Pleasure to be here, Shelby.
And for teaching me, as always, and all the viewers. We love when you come on and give us a little insight to gardening tips and things. We have our own master gardener right here. I mean, we can take your classes, but you kind of give us some right here on the show at times as well.
A little taste now and then of what's going on in the horticulture world.
Yes. With this warm weather right now, does it trick any of our
Yes,
flowers or fruits?
Some of the folks that monitor the native plants in the forest, Department of Conservation, others have noticed that some of the trees are starting to bud out a little bit early. And that's a little bit of a problem because we're probably going to get some really hard freezes later on.
Yes.
And then we're going to get some damage done.
Shoot,
okay, and that affects things, The oak trees are starting to bud out, and what they do is, they flower before the leaves come out. And if those flower buds expand too much, a freeze kills them, then there's fewer acorns for the squirrels and the deer, and it impacts everything when the climate is just fluctuating back and forth like it has been this winter. So we need to be careful of that and just watch out.
What can you do, though?
You can't do anything. You just ride it out.
Yes. Does that kill the branches sometimes? Let disease get in there?
It sometimes can do that, and deer hunters will look around and see how what they call mast is under the trees, the droppings of the acorns and things. Okay, and that feeds the deers and other wildlife too. And so as the weather fluctuates more and more, it can affect that mast. And they have a Department of Conservation has a statistic for that you can look up and find out what it is in the fall before deer season.
Yes. Interesting, as always. Thanks so much again. Well, let's check in with Jessica in the newsroom. She has a preview of the stories that we're bringing you tonight on KSN Local News at 6.
Yeah, thanks so much, Shelby and Robert. Pittsburgh police have identified a suspect in connection to a drive-by shooting that happened back on December 26th. How you could help solve the crime. And a Missouri lawmaker says he's looking forward to the challenges in his new role in the legislature. Hear more from State Representative Cody Smith. Also, Kansas Republican Senator Pat Roberts will not seek re-election in 2020. A look at his career and why he plans to retire after his term. Plus, for the millions of Americans looking forward to getting their tax return this year, it could be a long wait. The impact the government shutdown will have on those refund checks going out. Those stories and so much more tonight on KSN Local News at 6. Now back to you both.
Okay, thanks a lot, Jessica. Darn it, I already had my refund check spent and I haven't even turned it in yet.
Whoa, boy.
That's a little ahead of the game, don't you think?
Just a little. You got to be careful
that's
of that.
my savings. I love when
Don't
that
count
goes
your chickens before they're hatched.
Yeah, I know better than that. Well, coming up Mondays, Living Well, Ann Leach will be my co-host. Plus, it's Angie's List and DIY with our own Jessica Shear.
Thank you for spending your 4 o'clock hour with us.
And join Jessica and Austin and Matt back here in 1 hour for your KSN Local News at 6.
Until then, live well.
Closed captioning brought to you by the law offices of Bishop and Hayes.
Welcome once again to Business Showcase. I'm Shelby, and I'm here at the Touch-Up Shop. You can hear there's lots of work going on here. I'm joined by Scott. And Scott, you have a really great new piece of equipment that you wanted to share with the viewers.
Yeah, we've upgraded a lot of the insurance companies, or not the insurance companies, but the OEMs, the factories that build these cars, so you have to have certain equipment to repair these cars nowadays. Some shops have them, not very many. Maybe even some of the shops that your insurance company is wanting you to go to doesn't have this stuff.
Really?
But to do a proper repair, that's what the factory says has to be done. So we've upgraded our equipment. We've got state-of-the-art stuff. We're ready to go.
Great. Well, we want it done right, and that's definitely what you can expect here. And another misconception is a lot of people think that their insurance company can tell them where they have to get it fixed, and that's just not true.
That's right. All 4 states, shop of choice states, you decide where your car gets fixed, not them.
So you can definitely pick wherever you want it to go to, and you know there's lots of different places that you can go, and some have the equipment and some don't. So do your research.
That's correct, because it needs to be done right with all the safety systems nowadays. It's a matter of life and death.
Wow, that is serious then. So we're not just talking about the exterior look of this. We want it very safe, and it takes the right equipment to make that happen.
That's exactly right. There's a lot of procedures that didn't used to have to be done, but now they do.
Well, I'm glad to know that. Tell everybody where you're located.
902 East 4th Street, Joplin, Missouri, 417-623-3687.
And then we can check out on a website as well?
Yes, thetouchupshop.com, and we're on Facebook also.
Okay, great. Thanks so much for all your information. You do great work. Thank you, Scott.
Thank you.
Paid for by the Touch-Up Shop,